Today you join us on my collection day for my brand new clubs for 2025. If you're looking for new clubs going into next year, then what are you thinking of getting? Where are you getting fitted? I have some custom built heads to go with some custom fitted shafts down at SGGT, but what is in that white box? I can't wait to try these out. There is only one minor detail. So guys, we are back at Waterfront now with these irons, but what irons are in here? So big thing, first of all, you will see as we open the box is we do get a fitting sheet. So this is a fitting sheet from SGGT which will give us all that information. So loft, lie, length of the clubs, what shafts we've got in there, weight of shaft, flex, and even the grip. So again, from there, what we want to know is exactly what I have been fitted for. If going down the line we're changing stuff or sending off for different clubs, we can make sure they're right for me. But straight away, in here, we do have the Axiom shafts in there. We do have the 105s. We do have them extra stiff. And you'll see with the sticker on here, those shafts are pure. So we're going to get the best flight, the most consistent flight from the way the shafts have been in. Again, custom grips on there. So we have gone for the black and purple Golf Pride grips there. But head-wise, this is what we are talking about today. We are talking about the Tora JCB cut CB irons. So again, Tora, a custom club building company, so you can just buy the heads. So that's exactly what I did here. I got the heads, and then we've gone to SGGT and Lawrence to get these shafts fitted. So as we know in the fitting, which is on the channel, guys, I'll just move this box. We tried the MBs. So we tried the MB irons out, but Lawrence, in very Lawrence fashion, told me that my strike wasn't good enough to obviously be playing those consistently. So we've gone into the CB, a little bit more forgiving, but for me, obviously straight away down there, look fantastic. Feel fantastic, and first swing with them has performed pretty well there. So you take that as your first shot with this pitching wedge. So very interesting that a lot of people talk about shafts. So we're talking about, should you be using graphite shaft? Should you be using steel shaft? So for me, again, I have around about a tour average swing speed. Again, that's not bragging that I've got that speed. That's just the speed that I have. But we can show that that can be fitted into a graphite shaft. I can still get great control, and you will see on the fitting, which again, like I say, is linked below, you can see that I got consistency from the shaft. I enjoyed the shaft. I got the flight that I wanted. Lawrence was really happy with the launch, the peak height of the shots, but also the spin. So that's what we want when we're going for a fitting. We want to make sure that the shaft gives us the best ball flight and the most consistent ball flight we can get. But obviously, by the title of this video, it was a pretty impressive build. But how do these clubs get built? We're going to show you exactly that now. We're going to show you the full process, what goes through making these clubs to be as good as they are. And the first part of the process is, as you can see, is tipping the shaft. So getting those shafts to the right flex for us. So you can see, goes through each club, making sure they are exactly the same and getting that to exactly the correct stiffness that Lawrence did fit to. From there, we've got graphite shafts. We then go through the puring process. So you see details are entered into the pure shaft technology. We pick the club and then it's straight into that machine. And the Tor irons obviously are forged in Japan in a famous area, which we'll go through when we get them finally out onto the golf course. But you can see when it's in the machine here, they are testing that flex, seeing where the perfect kick point is, the most consistent, and where the pureness of that shaft is. So a process that not every club manufacturer goes through, because they can be tolerances that are probably bigger than you actually think. And you'll have seen in a recent driver fitting how heads can even be maybe 1 degree out potentially. So here we are getting the loft and lie, so you see the preparation of the Tor irons. Again, a lot of tape on there so they don't get marked, because again, forged irons in there can quickly get marked up. Because they haven't got a shafts in, you can see there they've got their own little shaft that goes in there to help them be able to get them to the correct lie angle that was fitted. And again, heads don't always come perfect, so they are now into those perfect specs, and that's throughout the bag. You might have some that maybe sit a little bit more upright, some that are a little bit flatter, but then we have to get those in. So this is all in the club build. So if you're looking for custom clubs, if you want that bespoke exact clubs to help you next year, I mean, I'm really looking forward to getting these out on the golf course. The next part is getting the tip ready, so getting the end of the club ready for us to be able to put that ferrule on there, and then that's going to be nice and tight and ready for the club head to start to look at going on. But first of all, we've got to measure up and cut the shaft length down to where we're wanting. So we need each club to the right length. You might see, if you get all your clubs out and put them up against a radiator when you've been out there, that some clubs might be closer to another than what you expect. So then we're on to swing weighting. Then we want to make sure that these are weighted exactly, which is all on that spec sheet we saw in the studio, and this will be the same throughout all of those clubs. And then we need to start moving on to looking at obviously gluing these clubs together. You will see they also put the grip on to the swing weighting machine before they even put that on the golf club. So you can see now the process of gluing those. Ferrule is already on those clubs. We're going to start to get the heads on, start to give them a good clean, give them a polish up, and start to put the set together. So we know we've got 40 pitching wedge. Unfortunately, so far I've only hit the pitching wedge, but obviously you can see that we have had all those built, and then we'll start to see that cleaning process of just the final touches. So you see here the little things that you don't see, that there will be marks on the ferrule after doing that work, and you can see that's now buffing that up to get the perfect finish on the clubs that you would expect when you are paying for custom heads and custom shafts in your clubs. You want them to look the best when they are in your bag, and then a quick clean there to finish those off. But guys, like I say, when we get these out on the golf course, we are going to be talking more about the actual clubs themselves, the heads from Tora. Final part is those grips straight on there. So you can see, guys, a very interesting fitting, or a very interesting build of the clubs. Again, for me, I haven't built clubs. I've built one golf club for my PGA exams, but I wouldn't know how to build them. So you can see all the processes they go through, and processes that I didn't know about when I was going through my PGA, and how I would expect to build a club. Even coming to obviously finishing off those clubs. But you'll see 2 good shots to start with. We'll hit one more. But you can see I'm hitting those pretty easy, because unfortunately I trapped my finger in a car door a couple of days ago, and I can't really hit more than a pitching wedge. So there's one man waiting in the wings to hit these clubs, and I apologise in advance. Go on then, I'll have a go. James is going to
So you tell me that these are going to rust?
These should rust. So again, they are a raw finish.
So I'll move it back a bit. I'll go 130.
Yeah, you can go to 130. So the process here was from Tora to get these heads online. So you can buy just the heads from Tora, and then we had those fitted at SGGT.
You know what's interesting here? Because we've just been doing some videos with my irons, haven't we? Weight-wise, that feels totally different to, like, I don't know if it's the graphite, aren't they?
Yeah, graphite shafts. So again, we do have the spec sheet. So these could be totally different to James's irons, which he also had some graphite shafts fitted.
I've got the LA golf shafts, haven't I? Which
do have.
Feel fantastic.
But again, one big thing is here, you think that just because maybe you're a better golfer, you don't need graphite shafts. But so far, James, you've thoroughly enjoyed yours?
Yeah, I have actually. Quite enjoying these as well. These don't seem to be going as far as what mine do, but then these are fitted to you, and we got told you had a aggressive transition, was it?
Aggressive, that is correct.
So do you know what the swing weights are? Is it the swing weights on the sheet?
Swing weights, I believe, were, let's have a quick look. We do have this here. So swing weights in these are D3.
Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary then, is it?
So again, throughout the set there, so having the same kind of feel throughout there, they're not different. And again, interesting here, I have the same shafts throughout. So shaft-wise, you can see on there, we do have the 105 throughout. But SGGT, you can potentially get lighter shafts in your longer irons if you want to use these CB irons.
Yeah, that's what I found, wasn't it? Can we go up?
Yeah, let's see what else we've got here. I'll let you have the first hit. Who else would let James Robinson have the first hit of his
Oh, should we go 8?
Let's go 8 iron.
Oh, they do look really good then.
So again, a massive shout out to Tora, a great irons. So again, in the fitting you'll have seen, I did try the MBs, and unfortunately Lawrence did give me the news that I don't hit the face in the same place every time that is good enough for MB iron. Sounds fantastic.
This is interesting because we've just been hitting 8 iron literally now for a couple of videos, haven't we?
Yeah.
And the feel difference, and again, this isn't a bad thing because these are your irons, but the feel difference is unbelievable.
Yeah, and this is the importance, obviously. Shaft and grip, and obviously the weight of those things is very individual, is very important, and you might not be the same. So if you buy some second-hand clubs offline, they could feel totally wrong for you. Because again, you could get those, James, and they might feel not great.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they feel bad. I think mine personally feel nicer. I think that's probably just a normal thing to think, isn't it?
This is where the importance of fitting, getting the correct shaft for you.
That felt gorgeous.
Although you are knocking the flags out there.
Like, say if I went just for interest for people with my 8 iron here, so similar, but I've got the MBs in the shorter irons. Shaft length exactly the same. I'll give you that.
Okay.
And again, it shows how different it can be, doesn't it? Because with, like I said, we've been hitting these, and you can sort of see how that, to me, is just a better shot. But it's exactly the same, isn't it?
But the feel to you might be different. You might have more confidence over that club because you know it's fitted for yourself, whereas we know that people might start to blame the clubs.
Never blame the clubs.
With Handicap Dave every single week on the channel.
Anymore?
Let's go to the 4 iron, because 4 iron again for you, you did go lighter in your 4 iron. So is that one right on the edge? There you go. Not that I've looked before. So 4 iron.
You've had them out in the car, haven't you?
CB. Let's have a look at the bottom edge of that club as well. Let's have a look at the bottom. So again, a very thin bottom edge there. So it's obviously not a thick sole on there, which again...
It's a blade really, isn't it?
It is very close to a blade. This is obviously a little bit bigger than the other CBs that Tora do. So again, a little bit more forgiveness from having a larger surface to hit. Which what Lawrence told me is what I need.
It's funny because it feels heavy, and there's no reason for it to feel heavy. I mean, it's really enjoyable, to be honest.
Straight down the middle.
What have we got? 190 carry. Funny how you can get a graphite shaft that feels heavier than a normal one. Oh, that was toey.
So have we got forgiveness?
It's only dropped 12 yards, hasn't it, carry, which...
Still ran out there.
194.
So hopefully we'll have these on the channel for the first outing, because these are my clubs for 2025. When the finger gets back to being able to fit a golf shot.
That was nice. That was really nice. Just leave me in here if you want.
Excellent.
We'll leave you here.
All right, yeah. Purple Rain.
With my clubs.
Watch this one. You ready? Watch this.
I'm watching.
Well, the thing put me off. It took too long, didn't it?
No, it? So guys, after James was put off by the machine, I am looking forward to getting these clubs out in the next coming weeks, or the next couple of weeks on the golf course. What clubs are you looking for this year? And if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.